Look, I'm going to be brutally honest with you right now. You're bleeding time. Every single second you spend scrolling, every minute you waste in that endless scroll of distraction, every hour that vanishes into thin air while you convince yourself you'll start tomorrow. It's all gone, forever. And here's the thing that'll really mess with your head. You already know this. Deep down, you've always known. But knowing and doing? Those are two completely different universes, my friend. Think about it. Right at this very moment, someone out there, maybe they're younger than you, maybe less talented, maybe they started with way less. They're crushing it. Not because they have some secret superpower, not because life handed them a golden ticket, but because they figured out something you haven't yet. They learned how to treat time like the precious, non-renewable resource it actually is. They stopped letting life happen to them and started making life happen. And you're about to join them. In the audiobook, Time is Life, Maximize Your Time to Get Everything You Want, you're going to discover something that'll fundamentally shift how you see every single day of your existence. This isn't some fluffy motivational garbage that makes you feel good for 5 minutes and then fades away. This is the real deal, a complete reconfiguration of how you approach the hours you've been given. Here's what's going to happen. You'll uncover the hidden connection between time and achieving your dreams. Not the surface level, manage your calendar better stuff you've heard a million times before. I'm talking about the deep, almost invisible threads that link every moment you have to every goal you've ever wanted to reach. You'll learn how to reclaim your hours, not just find them, but actually take them back from all the things that have been stealing them from you without your permission. And listen, here's where it gets real. By the time we're done here, you're going to master your schedule in a way that makes your goals stop being these distant, someday maybe fantasies, and start becoming your actual tangible reality. But, and this is crucial, every single day you wait, every single day you tell yourself, I'll start next Monday, or after this project is done, or when things calm down, that's another opportunity that just evaporates into nothing. So here's my challenge to you. Don't let life happen to you anymore. Seriously, stop being a passenger in your own existence. Seize control of your time starting right now and start living the life you've always imagined. Not the watered-down version, not the maybe if I'm lucky version. The actual full-color, high-definition life you've been dreaming about when you're stuck in traffic or lying awake at 3 a.m., wondering if this is really all there is. Transition to value delivery. Before we dive deep into this transformation, I want to set you up for success. There's a free bundle waiting for you. It contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. And here's why this matters. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. It's not just about reading or listening once, it's about absorbing this information through different channels so it actually sticks in your brain and becomes part of how you operate. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now, it's free right now, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Trust me on this one. You'll want these resources when you're implementing what you're about to learn. Chapter 1. The Power of Time Mastery. Let me paint you a picture. Time slips through our fingers like sand on a beach, a precious resource we can never, ever reclaim. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how successful you become, or how hard you wish. Once a moment passes, it's gone forever. Yet somehow, in this fleeting existence we're all sharing, some individuals seem to bend time to their will. They achieve extraordinary feats while the rest of us are still figuring out what to have for lunch. They're building empires while others are struggling just to keep up with emails. What if you could unlock the secrets of these time masters? I'm not talking about working yourself into the ground or sleeping 4 hours a night or any of that hustle culture nonsense that'll burn you out before you're 40. I'm talking about actually understanding how to harness the full potential of every minute, transforming your life in ways you never thought possible. As you embark on this journey through Time is Life, you're going to discover a revolutionary approach to managing your most valuable asset, your time. And let me be crystal clear about something. This isn't just another productivity guide filled with tired clichés about waking up at 5 a.m. or eating frogs for breakfast or whatever the latest productivity guru is preaching. This is a roadmap to a completely new way of living, where every moment has purpose and every action brings you closer to your dreams. Here's what's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast. From the very first pages, you'll start to see immediate changes. Not maybe in 6 months if you're consistent changes, actual, right-now transformations. You'll learn to recognize the hidden time wasters that have been silently sabotaging your progress, lurking in the shadows of your daily routine like thieves in the night. More importantly, you'll establish a robust framework for efficient time management that will serve as the foundation for all your future endeavors. But that's just the beginning of your transformation, my friend. This is where things get interesting. As you delve deeper into the book, you'll encounter some intriguing concepts that might sound a bit mysterious. At first, things like the mind's vault and the decision matrix. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, more fancy buzzwords. But hear me out. These aren't just catchy phrases designed to sound impressive. They're powerful tools that will fundamentally reshape how you approach each day, each task, and each goal. What secrets do these concepts hold? How will they revolutionize your relationship with time? The answers are waiting for you in the chapters ahead. And trust me, once you understand them, you'll wonder how you ever functioned without them. Here's something crucial to understand. The journey of time mastery is not a sprint. It's a marathon. The skills you'll acquire aren't fleeting tricks that work for a week and then lose their effectiveness. They're the building blocks of long-term success. As you continue to apply these principles, you'll find yourself developing advanced time management techniques that once seemed completely out of reach. Personal and professional goals that felt overwhelming, maybe even impossible, will become achievable through consistent practice. You might be wondering why these particular strategies were chosen and arranged in this specific order. It's a fair question. The structure of this book isn't arbitrary or random. Each concept builds upon the last, creating a logical progression that allows for optimal results. As you move through what might seem like enigmatic chapters at first, The Morning Conqueror, Tiny Giants, you'll see how each new skill enhances and reinforces what you've already learned, leading to cumulative success that compounds over time. Let's talk about something fundamental. Understanding the importance of time management is crucial. Time is the great equalizer in life. Think about it. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire CEO or a college student working part-time, you get the same allocation. It's finite and irreplaceable. Once a moment passes, it's gone forever, vanished into the void of history. This realization alone can be a powerful motivator if you let it sink in. Effective time management has a profound impact on both your personal and professional life. It's not just about doing more stuff, cramming more tasks into your already overflowing schedule. That's a recipe for burnout, not success. It's about doing what matters most. There's a big difference. Look at any highly successful individual. Really look at how they operate. And you'll find someone who has mastered the art of leveraging their time. They understand something fundamental that most people miss. It's not about working longer hours. It's about making each hour count. Throughout this book, you'll learn how to emulate these successful strategies and apply them to your own life, regardless of where you're starting from. The approach in Time is Life differs dramatically from traditional time management guides. We're not going to spend chapters telling you to color code your calendar or buy a fancy planner. Instead, you'll discover transformative techniques for time optimization that will challenge your current thinking and offer completely new perspectives. One of the key aspects you'll explore is how to align your time usage with your personal goals. Because here's the thing, efficiency without direction is pointless. You could be incredibly efficient at doing things that don't matter at all. You'll learn techniques for maintaining focus and ensuring that your daily actions are actually in sync with your long-term aspirations. No more busy work that makes you feel productive but doesn't move the needle on what actually matters. So, who is this book for? It's for the entrepreneur who's burning the midnight oil, trying to balance their passion with the relentless demands of running a business. It's for the student juggling classes, assignments, and the crushing pressure to build a future in an uncertain world. It's for the busy professional striving to climb the career ladder while desperately trying to maintain a fulfilling personal life that doesn't consist entirely of weekend recovery time. But more than that, and this is important, it's for anyone who has ever felt that there aren't enough hours in the day. Anyone who has ever wished for more time to pursue their dreams and live life to the fullest. If you've ever looked at the clock and thought, where did the day go? This book is for you. Time management isn't just a skill for the workplace, something you turn on when you clock in and turn off when you leave. It's a fundamental need for anyone seeking greater life balance and achievement. Whether you're aiming for professional success, personal growth, or simply a more organized and fulfilling life, mastering your time is the key to unlocking your full potential. As we conclude this chapter, you stand at the threshold of a journey that will revolutionize how you perceive and use your time. The path ahead is filled with insights and strategies that will empower you to take control of your life in ways you never thought possible. But before we dive into these transformative techniques, we need to uncover something crucial. There's a secret, a fundamental truth about time that most people completely overlook. They go through their entire lives never discovering it, and that's why they struggle. This secret, which we'll explore in the next chapter, called the Timekeeper Secret, forms the bedrock of effective time management and will set the stage for everything that follows. Are you ready to unlock the vault of time and discover the hidden treasure within? Chapter 2. The Timekeeper Secret. Have you ever wondered where your time actually goes? Like, really wondered? You start your day with the best intentions, a to-do list a mile long, and the determination to conquer it all. You tell yourself, today's the day. I'm going to crush this. Yet, as the sun sets and darkness creeps in, you find yourself sitting there, wondering how the hours slipped away so fast, leaving so many tasks untouched, so many goals unreached. This is where the Timekeeper Secret comes into play, a fundamental truth that most people overlook in their desperate quest for productivity. The secret lies in awareness. Simple word, profound implications. It's not just about managing your time. It's about truly understanding it at a level most people never reach. Imagine having a superpower that allows you to see exactly how you spend each minute of your day. Not a vague sense of where your time goes, but precise knowledge. This awareness is the foundation of effective time management, the key that unlocks the door to maximizing your potential. But why is this awareness so crucial? Think of your time as water flowing through your hands. Without paying attention, most of it just slips away, unnoticed, wasted. However, when you become aware of the flow, when you actually see it happening, you can start to direct it, to use it purposefully, intentionally. This is the essence of the Timekeeper Secret, becoming acutely aware of where your time goes. Understanding your current time usage is like shining a bright light into the dark corners of your day. It's often surprising, sometimes uncomfortable, but always enlightening. As you begin to track your time, you'll notice patterns emerging, patterns you've been blind to your entire life. Perhaps you spend way more time on social media than you realized. 3 hours a day scrolling through other people's highlight reels. Yeah, that adds up. Or maybe that quick coffee break stretches into an hour-long chat more often than not. These revelations can be startling, even shocking, but they're also incredibly empowering. They allow you to identify time-wasting activities that have been quietly sabotaging your productivity, operating like silent assassins, killing your dreams 1 minute at a time. It's not about judging yourself harshly or beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's about recognizing opportunities for improvement. You might discover that you're most productive in the morning. Your brain is sharp, your energy is high, yet you've been scheduling your most challenging tasks for the afternoon when you're already running on fumes. Or perhaps you'll notice that your energy dips significantly after lunch, making it the perfect time for less demanding tasks, not the complex strategic work you've been trying to force during that period. Implementing time tracking might seem daunting at first. I get it. The idea of monitoring every minute of your day sounds exhausting, maybe even a bit obsessive, but it doesn't have to be complicated. There are numerous tools available to help you in this endeavor. Apps like Toggle and Clockify can make the process nearly effortless, allowing you to track your activities with just a click. But honestly, even a simple notebook can suffice if you prefer a more analog approach. Some people swear by the pen and paper method because it forces a different kind of awareness. The key is to choose a method that feels natural to you, one that you'll stick with consistently, because consistency is everything here. Tracking your time for a day or two won't give you the insights you need. You need to see patterns, and patterns take time to emerge. As you begin to log your activities, something magical happens. You start to accumulate valuable data. This is where the real transformation begins. Analyzing your time log is like being an archaeologist of your own life, uncovering hidden truths about how you operate, what makes you tick, what drains your energy, what fuels your productivity. You might discover that what you thought was a quick 15-minute email check actually consumes an entire hour of your morning, every single day. Or you might realize that your most productive hours, those golden hours when you're operating at peak performance, are being eaten up by low-priority tasks that could easily be done later or delegated to someone else. Armed with these insights, you can start to implement strategies for eliminating time waste. This doesn't mean turning yourself into a productivity robot, devoid of all leisure or spontaneity. Life isn't about optimizing every second until you're just a machine cranking out tasks. Instead, it's about making conscious choices about how you spend your time. It's about prioritizing tasks that align with your goals and cutting down on distractions that derail your focus and steal your future. One effective technique is to categorize your activities into high-value and low-value tasks. High-value tasks are those that directly contribute to your goals. They move the needle. They create results. They build the life you want. Low-value tasks are often time fillers that don't move you forward. They're not necessarily bad. Sometimes you need to decompress, but they shouldn't be consuming the majority of your day. Once you've identified these categories, you can start to optimize your daily routines. This might involve batching similar tasks together so you're not constantly switching contexts and losing momentum. It might mean automating repetitive activities that don't require your personal attention, or it could involve delegating tasks to others when possible, freeing up your time for the things only you can do. To truly harness the power of the Timekeeper Secret, it's essential to put these concepts into practice. Don't just read about them and nod along. Actually do them. Start by tracking your activities for one full week. Be honest and detailed in your logging. This is for your eyes only. There's no one to impress, no one to lie to. The more honest you are, the more valuable the insights will be. At the end of the week, take some time, like really set aside an hour or two to analyze your log. Look for patterns. Identify your most productive periods. Pinpoint areas where time seems to slip away unnoticed, vanishing like smoke. These are your leakage points, and they're costing you more than you realize. Next, make a list of your top distractions. These could be anything from social media notifications that ping every 30 seconds to chatty coworkers who turn a 2-minute question into a 20-minute conversation. Once you've identified these time thieves, create a concrete plan to minimize their impact. This might involve turning off notifications during focused work periods, setting clear boundaries with colleagues, or designating specific times for checking emails instead of letting them interrupt you all day long. As you implement these strategies, you'll start to see changes. At first, you might simply become more aware of how you spend your time. This increased awareness alone can lead to better choices and more intentional use of your hours. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what's actually there. As you continue to practice, you'll likely find your daily routines becoming more streamlined. Tasks that once took hours might be completed in half the time, leaving you with more space for high-priority activities or personal pursuits that actually matter to you. But the true mastery of time tracking and management is where the most significant transformations occur. Imagine being able to align your daily activities perfectly with your long-term goals. Picture yourself making consistent, meaningful progress towards your personal and professional aspirations. Not someday, not when things calm down. Now, today. This is the potential that the Timekeeper Secret unlocks. Of course, this journey isn't without its challenges. You might find it difficult to maintain consistent tracking habits at first. The solution? Set reminders and establish a routine for logging your activities. Make it a non-negotiable part of your day, like brushing your teeth or checking your messages. Build it into your routine until it becomes automatic. Another common hurdle is the difficulty in identifying subtle inefficiencies in your routine. These are the sneaky ones, the 5 minutes here, the 10 minutes there that add up to hours over a week. This is where seeking feedback from peers or mentors can be invaluable. Fresh eyes can often spot patterns that we become blind to, habits we've developed that we don't even notice anymore. As we close this chapter, you've taken the first crucial step in uncovering the Timekeeper Secret. You've learned the importance of awareness in managing your time effectively. But awareness is just the beginning. It's the foundation, not the whole building. In the next chapter, we'll explore a powerful tool that will help you harness this newfound awareness and turn it into actionable strategies. Get ready to unlock the mind's vault and discover how to transform fleeting thoughts into concrete plans that actually get executed. Chapter 3. The Mind's Vault. Imagine your mind as a vast, intricate vault. Picture it in your head right now, this massive structure with countless chambers, each one containing thoughts, ideas, tasks, commitments, worries, dreams, and everything else that swirls around in your consciousness on any given day. Within its chambers lie all the pieces of your life, all the things you need to remember, all the projects you're juggling, all the promises you've made. But here's the problem. Unlike a physical vault where items are neatly organized and easily retrievable, where you can walk in, go straight to the right drawer, and pull out exactly what you need, the mind's vault can often become a chaotic jumble of information. It becomes this mental junk drawer where everything gets tossed in randomly, and good luck finding what you need when you actually need it. The key to unlocking your full potential lies in mastering this inner vault, organizing its contents, and learning to access them effortlessly whenever you need to. Because when your mind is cluttered, everything else suffers. Your focus, your productivity, your peace of mind, all of it takes a hit. The mind's vault is more than just a metaphor, though. It's a powerful concept that can revolutionize how you manage your time and energy. But what exactly does it mean to unlock this vault? At its core, it's about clearing the mental clutter that accumulates in our daily lives like dust in the corners of a room you never clean. It's about creating a system that allows your mind to focus on what truly matters rather than constantly juggling a myriad of unorganized thoughts and tasks. Think about it. How much mental energy are you wasting right now just trying to remember everything you need to do? Think about the last time you lay awake at night, your mind racing with all the things you needed to remember to do the next day. That mental noise, that constant backdrop of unfinished tasks, looming deadlines. That's the enemy of productivity and peace of mind. It's exhausting, it's draining, and it's completely unnecessary once you learn the right approach. By learning to effectively organize and manage the contents of your mind's vault, you can dramatically reduce this mental clutter and free up valuable cognitive resources for the things that actually matter. Your brain has a limited amount of processing power. Why waste it on trying to remember if you need milk when you could be solving bigger problems? But how do we begin to organize something as abstract and intangible as our thoughts and ideas? Where do we even start when everything feels so chaotic? The first step is to recognize something fundamental about how our brains work. Our brains are excellent at generating ideas, but absolutely terrible at storing them. Seriously, think about how many brilliant ideas you've had in the shower, in the car, right before falling asleep, and then completely forgotten by the time you could act on them. Your brain is an idea factory, not a filing cabinet. This is where the practice of capturing comes into play. Capturing involves externalizing your thoughts, tasks, and ideas by writing them down or recording them in some way. Get them out of your head and into a trusted system outside of your mind. This simple act of capturing has profound benefits that most people completely underestimate. First, it reduces stress by relieving your mind of the burden of trying to remember everything. You know that nagging feeling that you're forgetting something important? Capturing eliminates that. Second, it increases focus by allowing you to concentrate on the task at hand. Knowing that other ideas and tasks are safely recorded for later review. And perhaps most importantly, it ensures that no valuable idea or important task slips through the cracks of your memory and disappears forever. The next crucial step in mastering the mind's vault is to develop a trusted system for storing and organizing this captured information. This system becomes an extension of your mind, a reliable external memory that you can depend on completely without question. When you trust your system, you can actually relax. You can let go. You don't have to keep everything spinning in your head like plates on sticks. You know that everything is accounted for and nothing will be forgotten. This peace of mind is invaluable. It changes everything about how you move through your day. This trusted system doesn't have to be complex or expensive or involve the latest productivity app. It could be as simple as a notebook and pen that you carry with you everywhere. Or it could be as sophisticated as a digital task management app with tags, filters, reminders, and all the bells and whistles. The key is to choose a method that feels natural to you and that you'll use consistently. Remember, the best system is the one you'll actually use. I've seen people spend weeks researching the perfect productivity system, downloading 5 different apps, color-coding everything, and then abandoning it all after 3 days because it was too complicated. Don't do that. Keep it simple. Keep it usable. As you begin to implement your system, you'll likely notice an immediate reduction in stress. It's almost magical how quickly it happens. The mental weight of trying to remember everything lifts, replaced by a sense of control and clarity. You'll find yourself more present in the moment, able to focus fully on the task at hand without the nagging worry of forgetting something important lurking in the background. But the benefits of mastering your mind's vault go way beyond stress reduction. It also increases accountability. When you have a clear record of your commitments and obligations, it becomes much easier to follow through on them. You're no longer relying on your faulty memory to remind you of what needs to be done. Instead, you have a concrete list that you can refer to and act upon. No more excuses. To truly harness the power of the mind's vault, it's essential to create a workflow, a process for regularly capturing, processing, and acting on the information you've collected. This workflow becomes the beating heart of your productivity system, ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks and that you're always moving forward on your most important tasks and projects. An effective workflow might look something like this. Throughout the day, you capture any thoughts, ideas, or tasks that come to mind in a designated inbox. This could be a physical inbox on your desk, a notes app on your phone, or a specific section of your notebook. The key is to make it as frictionless as possible to capture information as it occurs to you. No barriers, no friction, just capture and move on. Then, at regular intervals, perhaps daily or weekly, depending on your needs, you process this inbox. Processing involves reviewing each item and deciding what to do with it. Is it an actionable task? If so, what's the next step? Is it an idea to be explored later? If so, where should it be filed? Is it something that can be delegated or deleted entirely? By regularly processing your inbox, you ensure that nothing slips through the cracks and that you're always clear on what needs to be done next. This clarity is powerful. It eliminates the decision paralysis that comes from staring at a huge list of vague tasks. To put these concepts into practice, try this. Create a mind map of all the tasks, projects, and ideas currently occupying your mental space. Start with a central node representing your main goal or area of focus. Then branch out with all the related thoughts and tasks. Just get it all out of your head and onto paper or a screen. This exercise can be incredibly revealing, often surfacing connections and priorities you hadn't consciously recognized. You might realize that 3 different projects you thought were separate are actually all working toward the same goal. Or you might discover that something you've been agonizing over isn't actually that important in the bigger picture. Next, explore different task management tools and systems. This might include popular apps like Todoist or Trello, or more traditional methods like a bullet journal. Experiment with a few different approaches to find what resonates with you. Don't just pick the first thing you try. Give yourself permission to test different systems until you find the one that clicks. Remember, the goal is to find a system that feels like a natural extension of your thinking process, not one that feels like a chore to maintain. If using your system feels like work, you'll abandon it. It needs to feel helpful, not burdensome. As you begin to implement these techniques, you'll likely see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience reduced mental clutter and stress, along with increased accountability and organization. These alone are worth the effort. As you become more proficient, you may find that your workflow becomes streamlined, your focus sharpens, and your productivity soars in ways you didn't think possible. Tasks that used to take all day get done in an hour because you're not wasting energy trying to figure out what to do next. You already know. At its best, mastering your mind's vault can lead to an ability to manage complex tasks and projects with ease, freeing up mental energy for creative thinking and big-picture strategizing. This is where the real magic happens. When you're not bogged down in the details, you can actually see the forest for the trees. Of course, like any new habit, there can be challenges in implementing these techniques. Consistency is often the biggest hurdle. It's easy to fall back into old habits of trying to keep everything in your head, especially when you're stressed or busy. The solution is to set regular reminders and establish a routine for capturing and processing information. Make it a non-negotiable part of your day, like brushing your teeth or checking your email. Another common issue is feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of tasks once you start capturing everything. When you first dump everything out of your head and onto paper, it can be shocking to see just how much you've been trying to juggle. If this happens, remember that the goal is not to do everything. The goal is to make informed decisions about what to focus on. Prioritize ruthlessly. Break larger projects down into smaller, manageable steps. And don't be afraid to delegate or delete items that aren't truly important. Not everything on your list deserves your time and energy. Some things just need to be eliminated. As we close this chapter, you've unlocked the secrets of the mind's vault. You've learned how to capture, organize, and process the wealth of information flowing through your mind. But having a clear mind is just the beginning of this transformation. In the next chapter, we'll explore a powerful tool that will help you navigate the sea of tasks and commitments you've now organized. Get ready to discover the decision matrix and learn how to make choices that will propel you towards your goals with unprecedented clarity and purpose. Chapter 4. The Decision Matrix. In the labyrinth of our daily lives, we often find ourselves at crossroads, faced with a multitude of tasks vying for our attention. Each path seems equally important, equally urgent. The email that just came in, the project due next week, the phone call you need to make, the strategic planning you keep putting off. Everything is screaming for your attention, and you're supposed to somehow figure out what to do first. But what if there was a way to cut through this confusion? What if there existed a tool so powerful that it could instantly clarify which tasks truly deserve your time and energy? This is where the decision matrix comes into play, and trust me, once you understand this, everything changes. The decision matrix isn't just another time management trick you'll use for a week and then forget. It's a paradigm shift in how we approach our tasks and responsibilities. At its core, it's about understanding that not all tasks are created equal. Some will propel you towards your goals with rocket-like speed, while others merely create the illusion of progress. And here's the kicker. The tasks that feel most urgent are often the least important. But what exactly is this matrix, and how does it work its magic? Imagine for a moment that you could view your tasks through a special lens. This lens doesn't just show you what needs to be done, it reveals the true nature of each task. It separates the urgent from the important, the essential from the optional, the needle movers from the time wasters. This is the essence of the decision matrix. The power of this approach lies in its ability to bring clarity to chaos. When you're drowning in a sea of tasks, it's incredibly easy to lose sight of what truly matters. You might find yourself frantically putting out fires, responding to every urgent demand that comes your way, running around like a chicken with its head cut off. But here's the truth. Urgency doesn't always equate to importance. In fact, some of the most crucial tasks for your long-term success might not seem urgent at all. They're the strategic work, the relationship building, the skill development, things that don't have immediate deadlines, but will determine where you are 5 years from now. This is where the decision matrix shines. It helps you differentiate between what's merely shouting for your attention and what truly deserves it. By categorizing your tasks based on their urgency and importance, you gain a bird's-eye view of your responsibilities. Suddenly, the path forward becomes clear. The fog lifts. You know exactly what to do next. But the benefits of the decision matrix extend far beyond simple task categorization. When you consistently focus on high-impact tasks, you're not just managing your time, you're maximizing it. Every hour you spend becomes an investment in your goals rather than a response to whatever demands pop up and hit you in the face. Think about the last time you felt truly productive. Not busy, productive. Chances are, it wasn't a day filled with frantic activity and constant interruptions. It was probably one where you made significant progress on something that really mattered, something that moved the needle on your most important goals. The decision matrix helps you create more of those days, more consistently, more reliably. It's like having a GPS for your tasks. It shows you exactly where to focus your energy for maximum impact. Moreover, this approach can dramatically reduce stress. When you have clear priorities, the overwhelming mountain of tasks becomes a manageable hill. You no longer need to carry the weight of every undone task on your shoulders like Atlas holding up the world. Instead, you can focus on what's truly important, secure in the knowledge that you're spending your time wisely. So how do we implement this powerful tool? At the heart of the decision matrix lies a simple but incredibly effective framework known as the Eisenhower box. Named after President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who is known for his exceptional productivity and ability to make tough decisions, this tool divides tasks into 4 categories based on their urgency and importance. Imagine a square divided into 4 quadrants. Got it in your mind? Good. Now let's fill it in. The top left quadrant is for tasks that are both urgent and important. These are your top priorities, the things that need to happen now and actually matter. A client emergency, a critical deadline. These are the fires that actually need to be put out. The top right quadrant is for important but not urgent tasks. Listen carefully, because this is where most people fail. These are crucial for long-term success, but often get neglected because they don't have immediate deadlines screaming at you. This is your strategic planning, your skill development, your relationship building. This quadrant is where your future is built. The bottom left is for urgent but not important tasks. These are the ones that trick you. They feel important because they're urgent, because someone is waiting, because there's a deadline. But they're not actually moving you toward your goals. A lot of emails fall into this category, many meetings, most interruptions. Finally, the bottom right is for tasks that are neither urgent nor important. These are the time wasters we need to minimize or eliminate entirely. Social media scrolling, excessive TV watching, busy work that makes you feel productive but accomplishes nothing. By categorizing your tasks in this way, you gain immediate clarity on where to focus your energy. But the real power comes from consistently using this tool to guide your decisions over time. You'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards high-impact activities and becoming more adept at identifying what truly matters. To put this into practice, try creating your own Eisenhower box right now. Seriously, stop reading for a moment and do this. List out all the tasks currently on your plate and categorize them into the 4 quadrants. Be honest with yourself. It's easy to convince ourselves that everything is urgent and important, but that defeats the purpose of the exercise. Once you've categorized your tasks, look at how you're currently spending your time. Are you focusing primarily on the urgent and important quadrant, constantly putting out fires? Are you neglecting the important but not urgent tasks that could prevent those fires in the first place? This insight alone can be transformative. Next, create a plan to shift your focus towards high-impact tasks. This might involve delegating or eliminating some of the tasks in the lower quadrants. It might mean blocking out time for those important but not urgent tasks that often get pushed aside because there's no immediate consequence to delaying them. The key is to be proactive rather than reactive in how you allocate your time. Stop letting your day be dictated by what's screaming the loudest. Start choosing consciously where your time goes. As you begin to implement the decision matrix, you'll likely see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience improved clarity and focus, along with reduced stress as you gain confidence in your priorities. As you become more adept at using this tool, you may find that your time allocation becomes more efficient and you start making significant progress towards your goals. Not someday, but now, this week, this month. At its best, mastering the decision matrix can lead to a consistent ability to achieve high-impact results, dramatically accelerating your path to success in ways that will surprise you. Of course, implementing any new system can come with challenges. You might find it difficult at first to accurately categorize tasks, particularly when it comes to distinguishing between urgent and important. Everything feels important when you're in the thick of it. If this happens, don't hesitate to seek guidance from mentors or use additional decision-making frameworks to support your choices. Another common pitfall is the tendency to overcommit to low-value tasks out of habit or a misplaced sense of obligation. But I've always done this task. But they're expecting me to handle this. The solution is to regularly review and adjust your priorities, always keeping your long-term goals in sight. Remember, saying no to low-impact activities is saying yes to what truly matters. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't move you forward, you're saying no to something that could. As we close this chapter, you've unlocked the power of the decision matrix. You've learned how to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. But having clear priorities is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that will help you tackle your most important tasks with unprecedented vigor and effectiveness. Get ready to discover the secret of the Morning Conqueror and learn how to start your day with unstoppable momentum. Chapter 5. The Morning Conqueror. Dawn breaks, and with it comes a choice that will define your entire day. Will you seize the day, or will the day seize you? Will you wake up with intention and purpose, or will you hit snooze 5 times and stumble into your morning in a reactive fog? The Morning Conqueror isn't just about being an early riser, though that's part of it. It's not about joining some cult of 5 a.m. productivity warriors who brag about their morning routines on social media. It's about something much more fundamental, harnessing the power of those first few hours to set the tone for your entire day. But what does it truly mean to conquer your morning? Imagine starting your day with a genuine sense of accomplishment, a surge of confidence that propels you through whatever challenges lie ahead. Picture yourself sitting down to breakfast, knowing you've already done something significant, something that matters. This is the essence of the Morning Conqueror strategy. It's about more than just waking up early or following a strict routine that you saw on someone's Instagram. It's about strategically using those precious morning hours to tackle your most challenging task, what some people call eating your frog. Terrible metaphor, I know, but it works. But why focus on the most challenging task first? Wouldn't it be easier, more pleasant, to ease into your day with simpler tasks? Maybe knock out a few emails, organize your desk, grab that second cup of coffee? The answer lies in the psychology of momentum. When you complete a difficult task early in the day, you create a powerful sense of forward motion. It's like pushing a boulder off a cliff. Once it starts rolling, it's hard to stop. The momentum carries you through the rest of your day. Think about the last time you procrastinated on a challenging task. How did it affect your day? Be honest. Chances are it loomed over you like a dark cloud, sapping your energy and focus even when you were doing other things. It was there in the background, this nagging weight, draining you. Now imagine the opposite scenario. You wake up, tackle that daunting task head on, and complete it before most people have finished their morning coffee. How would that change your outlook for the rest of the day? How would it change your confidence, your energy, your sense of what's possible? This approach isn't just about productivity in some abstract sense. It's about psychological well-being. When you start your day with a significant accomplishment, you experience a boost of confidence and satisfaction that's almost addictive in the best way. This positive emotional state can carry you through the rest of your day, making other tasks seem more manageable by comparison. Moreover, by tackling your most challenging task first, you're capitalizing on your peak energy levels. For most people, and this is backed by research, willpower and focus are at their highest in the morning, before the demands of the day have worn them down. You're fresh, you're sharp, your decision-making ability is at its peak. By aligning your most difficult work with your body's natural rhythms, you're setting yourself up for success. You're working with your biology, not against it. But becoming a morning conqueror isn't always easy, let's be real. It requires discipline, consistency, and often a significant shift in habits. If you're currently someone who hits snooze 6 times and rushes out the door 20 minutes after waking up, this is going to feel like a big change. The key is to start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire routine overnight. That's a recipe for failure. Instead, begin by identifying your frog, that one task that you're most likely to procrastinate on, the one that would make the biggest difference if you could just get it done. Once you've identified your frog, the next step is to schedule it for first thing in the morning. This might mean waking up a bit earlier than you currently do, or it might simply mean rearranging your existing morning routine. The important thing is to prioritize this challenging task before anything else can get in the way. Because here's what happens. If you don't do it first, something will always get in the way. An urgent email will come in. A colleague will stop by your desk. A small task will expand to fill your morning. Before you know it, it's afternoon, and your frog is still sitting there, staring at you. Of course, knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different things. That's where the power of routine comes in. By establishing a consistent morning routine that includes tackling your most challenging task, you're creating a habit. Over time, this habit becomes second nature, requiring less willpower to maintain. To build this routine, start by designing your ideal morning. What time will you wake up? What preparatory steps do you need to take to be ready to tackle your frog? Perhaps you need to lay out your work materials the night before so you're not wasting mental energy in the morning looking for stuff. Maybe you need to include a brief meditation or exercise session to get your mind focused and clear. As you implement this routine, pay close attention to how it affects your day. Keep a journal of your morning accomplishments and reflect on how they influence your mood, productivity, and overall satisfaction. This reflection can serve as powerful motivation to maintain your morning conqueror habits. I recommend keeping track for at least 2 weeks. Note what you accomplished each morning, how you felt afterward, and how the rest of your day unfolded. You'll start to see patterns. You'll notice that on the days you conquer your morning, everything else tends to fall into place more easily. Remember, becoming a morning conqueror isn't about perfection. There will be days when you struggle, when the warm embrace of your bed seems more appealing than facing your challenging task. We are human. We all have those days. On these days, remind yourself of why you started this journey. Visualize the sense of accomplishment you'll feel once you've conquered your frog. Picture yourself at the end of the day, satisfied and proud, rather than guilty and frustrated. As you continue to practice the Morning Conqueror strategy, you'll likely see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience increased productivity and focus, along with reduced anxiety as you consistently accomplish important tasks early in the day. As you become more adept at this approach, you may find that you're mastering your morning routine and consistently achieving your daily goals. Tasks that once seemed insurmountable become just another thing you handle before breakfast. At its best, embracing the Morning Conqueror mindset can lead to the ability to tackle complex challenges with confidence, driving significant progress towards your personal and professional goals. You'll become known as someone who gets things done, someone who can be counted on, someone who doesn't just talk about their goals, but actually achieves them. Of course, like any significant change, becoming a morning conqueror can come with challenges. You might struggle to establish and maintain a consistent morning routine, especially if you're not naturally a morning person. Some people are night owls, and that's okay. The key is to set realistic goals and gradually build consistency. Don't try to go from waking up at 9 a.m. to waking up at 5 a.m. overnight. That's just setting yourself up to fail and feel bad about it. Start with waking up 30 minutes earlier. Get comfortable with that. Then add another 30 minutes if needed. Another common issue is the tendency to procrastinate on challenging tasks even when you've scheduled them for the morning. Your brain is clever. It will find ways to convince you that you need to check your email first, or that this other task is actually more urgent. If this happens, try using motivational techniques like visualization or positive self-talk. Remind yourself why this task matters. Picture the outcome you want to achieve. You might also consider finding an accountability partner, someone who can check in with you and provide support as you build your Morning Conqueror habits. As we close this chapter, you've unlocked the secret of the Morning Conqueror. You've learned how to harness the power of your mornings to tackle your most challenging tasks and set a positive tone for your entire day. But becoming a Morning Conqueror is just one piece of the puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that will help you maintain momentum throughout your day, even when faced with daunting challenges. Get ready to discover the power of tiny giants and learn how small actions can lead to monumental results. Chapter 6. Tiny Giants. In the realm of personal achievement and time management, we often fixate on grand gestures and sweeping changes. We dream of heroic efforts that will catapult us towards our goals overnight. We want the dramatic transformation, the before and after story, the moment where everything suddenly clicks into place. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your potential lies not in these towering feats, but in something much smaller, almost imperceptible at first glance? Welcome to the world of tiny giants. The concept of tiny giants might seem paradoxical at first. How can something be both tiny and giant? Isn't that a contradiction? The answer lies in the power of small, consistent actions taken over time. These actions, seemingly insignificant on their own, have the potential to create monumental change when compounded. Imagine a single drop of water. On its own, it seems completely inconsequential, right? You could flick it away with your finger. But what happens when that drop falls consistently in the same spot, day after day, year after year? It can carve canyons through solid rock. This is the essence of tiny giants. Small actions that, through persistence and consistency, achieve extraordinary results. But why focus on these small actions when we have big goals to achieve? When we want to lose 50 pounds, or build $1 million business, or write a novel? Why are we talking about tiny actions? The answer lies in the psychology of progress and motivation. When we set out to accomplish something significant, the sheer magnitude of the task can be overwhelming. It's like standing at the base of Mount Everest and trying to see the summit through the clouds. It's easy to become paralyzed by the enormity of what lies ahead, leading to procrastination or giving up entirely before we even start. Tiny Giants offers a different approach, a smarter way to think about big goals. Instead of fixating on the mountain you need to climb, focus on taking that first step, then the next, and the next. Each small action is manageable, doable, achievable. There's no room for overwhelm when you're just focusing on the next tiny step. This approach not only makes getting started easier, but it also builds momentum. Each small action completed is a win, boosting your confidence and motivation. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering size and speed as it goes. Before you know it, you've made significant progress without the stress and pressure that often accompanies big goals. The power of Tiny Giants lies not just in their ease of implementation, but in their compounding effect over time. This is where the real magic happens. Consider the habit of reading just 10 pages a day. 10 pages? That's nothing, right? Most people could knock that out in 15 minutes, maybe less. It seems small, almost trivial. You might think, what difference could 10 pages make? But over the course of a year, that adds up to 3,650 pages, equivalent to about 12 average-sized books. That's a significant amount of knowledge gained through a simple, consistent habit that takes less time than scrolling through social media. This compounding effect applies to virtually any area of life. Want to get in shape? Start with just 5 minutes of exercise a day. Just 5 minutes. You can't tell me you don't have 5 minutes. Looking to learn a new language? Commit to learning just one new word each day. One word. That's 365 new words in a year, more than enough to have basic conversations. These tiny actions, when consistently applied, can lead to transformative results. And here's the beautiful part. They're so small that you can't really fail at them. There's no excuse big enough to justify not doing something that takes 5 minutes. But the magic of Tiny Giants isn't just about the end result. It's about the journey itself. By focusing on small, achievable actions, you create a constant stream of small wins. These wins, no matter how tiny they might seem, are crucial for maintaining motivation and building confidence. Think about how most people approach goals. They set this huge, ambitious target, lose 50 pounds, save $10,000, launch a business. And then what? They work really hard for a week, maybe 2. They see minimal progress because real results take time. They get discouraged. They quit. But with Tiny Giants, you're winning every single day. Every day you take your tiny action, that's a win. Every day you read your 10 pages, Do your 5 minutes of exercise. Learn your one new word. That's a victory. These constant wins provide tangible evidence of your progress, fueling your drive to continue. Celebrating these small wins is a crucial part of the Tiny Giants approach. Too often, we reserve our celebration for major milestones, overlooking the small victories that pave the way. We think, I'll celebrate when I lose all 50 pounds. And meanwhile, we've lost 5 pounds and we're acting like it doesn't count. By acknowledging and celebrating each small step forward, you reinforce the positive habits you're building and boost your motivation to continue. You're training your brain to associate these actions with positive feelings, making them easier to maintain over time. So, how do we implement this powerful strategy? The first step is to break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable actions. This process of deconstruction is crucial, and it requires some thought. Take any complex task or ambitious goal and ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take towards this right now? Not tomorrow. Not when you have more time. Right now. What's the tiniest possible action you could take? For example, if your goal is to write a book, your tiny giant might be to write just 100 words a day. Just 100 words. That's a paragraph. That's nothing. But over a year, that's 36,500 words. Longer than many novels. If you're aiming to run a marathon, your tiny giant might be to put on your running shoes and step outside for 5 minutes each day. That's it. You don't even have to run. Just put on the shoes and go outside. The barrier to entry is so low that your brain can't come up with a good excuse. The key is to make the action so small that it feels almost ridiculous not to do it. If you find yourself consistently not doing your tiny giant, it's not small enough. Make it smaller. Once you've identified your tiny giants, the next crucial step is to focus on consistency. This is where many people falter. It's easy to do something once or twice, maybe even for a week. But true change comes from consistent application over time. Weeks, months, years. Set up systems to support your new habits. This might involve setting daily reminders on your phone, tracking your progress with a simple check mark on a calendar, or finding an accountability partner who's working on their own tiny giants. To put this into practice, try this exercise right now. Take a goal you've been struggling with and break it down into the smallest possible actions. What's the tiniest step you can take towards this goal? Now commit to doing just that tiny action every day for the next week. At the end of the week, reflect on how this approach felt compared to your previous attempts at tackling this goal. I bet you'll be surprised at how much easier it was to stay consistent. As you begin to implement the tiny giant strategy, you'll likely see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience steady progress towards your goals, along with increased confidence and motivation as you rack up small wins day after day. As you become more adept at this approach, you may find that you're mastering the art of incremental progress, consistently achieving personal and professional milestones that once seemed impossible. At its best, embracing the tiny giant's mindset can lead to an ability to tackle complex challenges with ease, driving significant long-term success through sustained effort. You'll look back a year from now and be amazed at how far you've come through these tiny, consistent actions. Of course, like any strategy, implementing tiny giants can come with challenges. You might struggle to maintain consistency, especially when the actions feel so small that they seem insignificant. What's the point of 5 minutes? Your brain will say. This isn't making a difference. The key is to set realistic goals and track your progress regularly. Keep a visual record, a calendar where you mark off each day you complete your tiny giant, or a chart where you can see your progress accumulating. Seeing the cumulative effect of your small actions can be a powerful motivator. Another common issue is feeling overwhelmed when faced with large, complex projects. The goal seems so far away, and these tiny steps feel like they'll take forever. In these cases, the solution is to apply the tiny giants approach even more rigorously. Break the project down into smaller and smaller steps until you find actions that feel manageable, even laughably small. As we close this chapter, you've unlocked the power of tiny giants. You've learned how small, consistent actions can lead to monumental results over time. But while tiny giants can help you make progress on individual tasks and goals, true mastery of your time requires a broader perspective. In the next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that will help you create a framework for sustained success across all areas of your life. Get ready to discover the rhythm of success and learn how to orchestrate your days for peak performance. Chapter 7. The Rhythm of Success. In the grand symphony of life, each of us is both the composer and the conductor. We're writing the music and directing the performance simultaneously. But how often do we find ourselves improvising wildly, reacting to the chaos around us rather than creating harmony? How often are we just banging on the drums randomly, hoping something good comes out? The rhythm of success is about finding your unique tempo, the beat that drives you forward consistently and purposefully. It's about moving through your days with intention rather than just responding to whatever hits you. Imagine waking up each day with a clear sense of purpose, knowing exactly what needs to be done and when. Picture yourself moving through your tasks with the grace and precision of a well-rehearsed dance, each step flowing naturally into the next. No hesitation, no wasted motion, just smooth, efficient progress. This is the essence of the rhythm of success, a state where productivity becomes second nature, where success is not a sporadic event that happens when you get lucky, but a daily occurrence that you can count on. But what creates this rhythm? It's not about rigid schedules that make you feel like a prisoner in your own life. It's not about inflexible routines that fall apart the moment something unexpected happens. Instead, it's about understanding the natural ebb and flow of your energy, your creativity, and your focus. It's about aligning your actions with these natural rhythms to create a symphony of productivity. The power of this approach lies in its ability to reduce decision fatigue. Think about how many decisions you make in a day. From the moment you wake up, what to wear, what to eat, whether to check your phone, what to tackle first, you're making hundreds, maybe thousands of micro decisions. Each decision, no matter how small, depletes your mental energy like a slow leak in a tire. By creating routines and habits, you automate many of these decisions, freeing up mental space for more important matters. You're not wasting precious mental energy on things that don't deserve it. Consider the morning routines of successful individuals, from CEOs to artists to athletes. Many attribute their success to consistent morning habits. These routines aren't about cramming more work into the day or trying to be superhuman. They're about setting a positive tone, about creating a rhythm that carries through the entire day. Think about it. When you start your day in a reactive state, hitting snooze, rushing around, checking emails before you've even gotten out of bed, you set a chaotic tone for the rest of the day. You're starting from behind, playing catch-up from the moment you open your eyes. But when you start your day with intention, following a planned routine that energizes and focuses you, you set a completely different tone. You're starting from a position of strength and clarity. But the rhythm of success isn't just about mornings. It's about creating a structured schedule that supports your productivity throughout the day. This doesn't mean planning every single minute like some kind of efficiency robot. It's about identifying your key activities and ensuring they have a regular place in your day or week. Think of it like a musical score. There are moments of intensity, crescendos where you focus on your most important tasks, where you're working at peak capacity. There are quieter passages for reflection and planning, where you're thinking strategically about what comes next. And there are rests, crucial periods of recovery and rejuvenation that allow you to sustain your performance over time. Each element is essential to the overall composition. You can't have all crescendos, you'd burn out. You can't have all quiet passages, you'd never accomplish anything significant. The rhythm comes from the balance, from the intentional variation in intensity. One of the most powerful aspects of the rhythm of success is its ability to turn conscious actions into unconscious habits. When you consistently perform an action at the same time or in the same context, something remarkable happens in your brain. Neural pathways form, strengthening with each repetition until the action becomes automated. This automation is the key to enhanced productivity. Imagine if you didn't have to motivate yourself to exercise. Imagine if sitting down to work on your most important project was as automatic as brushing your teeth. No resistance, no negotiation with yourself. You just do it because it's what you do at that time. This is the power of habits formed through consistent routines. You're harnessing the incredible power of your brain to make success easier, more automatic, more sustainable. Of course, establishing these rhythms isn't always easy. We all face obstacles in forming new habits. Perhaps you start with tremendous enthusiasm. You've got your new routine all planned out. You're excited. You're ready to change your life. But then a few days in, the enthusiasm wanes. The routine starts to feel like a burden. You skip a day, then another. Before you know it, you're back to your old patterns. Or maybe unexpected events throw off your carefully planned routine. A sick kid, a last-minute meeting, a family emergency. Life happens, and suddenly your rhythm is disrupted. The key is to anticipate these challenges and have strategies in place to overcome them. This isn't about being pessimistic, it's about being prepared. One effective approach is to start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life at once. I see this all the time. People decide they're going to wake up 2 hours earlier, meditate for 30 minutes, exercise for an hour, journal, read, and completely reorganize their work schedule, all starting tomorrow. And by next week, they've abandoned all of it because it was too much, too fast. Begin with one or two key activities and build your rhythm around them. As these become habitual, as they start to feel natural and automatic, you can gradually add more elements to your routine. Another crucial strategy is to identify your essential activities, those tasks that truly move the needle in your personal and professional life. These are the non-negotiables, the elements that must find a place in your rhythm no matter what else is happening. By ensuring these activities have a regular slot in your schedule, you guarantee progress on your most important goals. Even when life gets chaotic, even when unexpected things happen, you're still making progress on what matters most. Creating your rhythm of success is a deeply personal process. What works for one person may not work for another. Your optimal rhythm might look completely different from your colleagues or your friends, and that's perfectly okay. The key is to experiment, to find the patterns and routines that resonate with your natural rhythms and support your specific goals. Try this. Exercise. For 1 week, pay close attention to your energy levels and productivity throughout the day. When do you feel most alert? When do you struggle to focus? When does your creativity peak? When do you hit that afternoon slump? Use these insights to design a daily routine that aligns with your natural rhythms. If you're sharpest in the morning, that's when you should tackle your most challenging work. If you're a night owl whose brain doesn't really turn on until noon, fighting that and forcing yourself into an early bird schedule is just going to make you miserable and less productive. Then commit to following this routine for 2 weeks, adjusting as necessary based on what you learn. Give it enough time to actually become a rhythm rather than just something you're trying out. As you implement the rhythm of success, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience increased productivity through your structured routines, along with reduced decision fatigue and mental clutter. Your days will feel less chaotic, more intentional. As you become more adept at creating and maintaining effective routines, you may find yourself mastering the art of habit building, consistently achieving your personal and professional goals with less effort than before. At its best, embracing the rhythm of success can lead to an ability to automate essential tasks, allowing you to focus your energy on high-impact activities and driving significant long-term success. You'll operate at a level of efficiency that seemed impossible before. However, like learning any new skill, establishing your rhythm of success can come with challenges. You might struggle to establish and maintain new routines, especially in the face of unexpected disruptions. Life has a way of throwing curveballs right when you're trying to build consistency. The key is to start small and gradually build consistency. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up and don't use it as an excuse to give up entirely. Just get back to your rhythm the next day. Another common issue is resistance to forming new habits. Our brains are literally wired to prefer the familiar, even when we know intellectually that change would be beneficial. The familiar feels safe, even when it's not serving us. To overcome this resistance, consider using accountability partners or motivational techniques. Sometimes, External support can provide the extra push needed to establish new patterns. Tell someone about your new routine. Ask them to check in with you. Make it harder to quit by involving others in your commitment. As we close this chapter, you've discovered the power of the rhythm of success. You've learned how to create routines and habits that support your productivity and drive you towards your goals consistently and sustainably. But while having a strong personal rhythm is crucial, true mastery of your time requires an ability to dive deep when it matters most. In the next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that will help you achieve intense focus and productivity. Get ready to unlock the focus formula and learn how to enter a state of peak performance at will. Chapter 8. The Focus Formula. In a world of constant notifications, endless scrolling, and perpetual connectivity, true focus has become a rare and incredibly valuable commodity. It's become almost a superpower in today's distracted world. But what if there was a way to tap into a wellspring of concentrated effort? What if there was a method to achieve levels of productivity and creativity that seem almost superhuman to the people around you? Welcome to the Focus Formula, a powerful approach that can transform how you work and create. The Focus Formula isn't about working longer hours or pushing yourself to the brink of burnout. That's not sustainable, and it's not smart. Instead, it's about working smarter, diving deep into tasks with an intensity and clarity that can yield extraordinary results in compressed time frames. But what exactly is this formula, and how does it work its magic? At its core, the Focus Formula is built on the concept of deep work. This isn't your typical work session where you flip between emails, social media, Slack messages, and actual tasks every few minutes. Deep work is a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit. It's in this state that you produce your best work, generate your most innovative ideas, and make significant progress on your most challenging projects. Imagine being able to accomplish in a few focused hours what might normally take you days of fragmented work. Picture yourself making breakthroughs on complex problems, writing with a flow and clarity that surprises even you, or rapidly acquiring new skills that you've been putting off learning. This is the power of deep work, the secret ingredient in the Focus Formula. But why is this approach so effective in our modern, distraction-filled world? The ability to focus deeply has become increasingly rare, yet simultaneously more valuable than ever. The most significant contributions in fields ranging from science to business to the arts often come from periods of intense, uninterrupted focus. By cultivating this skill, you're not just improving your productivity, you're giving yourself a significant competitive advantage over everyone who's content to work in a constant state of distraction. Moreover, deep work is crucial for skill development and mastery. Whether you're learning a new programming language, honing your writing skills, or mastering a musical instrument, focused practice is essential. The Focus Formula allows you to compress months or even years of progress into much shorter periods through the power of concentrated effort. However, achieving this level of concentration isn't always easy in our hyper-connected world. Our modern environment seems specifically designed to fracture our attention into tiny, useless pieces. From the ping of a new email to the lure of social media, to the constant stream of notifications from a dozen different apps. Distractions are everywhere, multiplying like rabbits. The cost of these interruptions goes far beyond the time they directly consume. Each distraction breaks our focus, requiring additional time and mental energy to regain our concentration. Research shows it can take up to 23 minutes to fully regain focus after an interruption. Think about that. 23 minutes. And how often do you get interrupted in a typical workday? Multiple times per hour for most people. This is why a key component of the focus formula is creating an environment conducive to deep work. This might involve setting up a dedicated workspace where your brain knows it's time to focus. It might mean using tools to block distracting websites during your deep work sessions, because, let's be honest, we all lack the willpower to just not click when the tab is right there. Or it could involve establishing clear boundaries with colleagues and family members so they know when you're in deep work mode and shouldn't be disturbed unless the building is on fire. The goal is to create a sanctuary for focus, a space where your mind can settle into the deep, productive state that the focus formula cultivates. But how do we actually implement this approach in our daily lives? It starts with intentional scheduling. Rather than hoping to find time for deep work, which never happens, by the way, we need to make time for it. We need to protect it fiercely. This might involve blocking out specific hours in your calendar for focused work sessions. During these times, you commit to working on your most important and challenging tasks without interruption. No email, no phone calls, no quick questions from coworkers, nothing but you and your most important work. Communication is also crucial here. In a world where instant responses are often expected, where people get annoyed if you don't reply to their message within 5 minutes, it's important to set clear boundaries. This might involve explaining your deep work practice to colleagues, so they understand why you're not immediately responsive during certain hours. It might mean setting up an autoresponder during focus sessions that says, "I'm in a deep work session and will respond after 2 p.m. Or it could involve establishing specific times when you're available for communication and questions. To put the focus formula into practice, try this exercise. Schedule a 2-hour deep work session for tomorrow. Just 2 hours. Choose a challenging task that requires your full concentration, something you've been putting off because it's difficult or something you know will require serious mental effort. Before the session, prepare your environment thoroughly. Turn off all notifications on your phone and computer, every single one. Clear your desk of anything that might distract you. Let others know you'll be unavailable for the next 2 hours unless there's an actual emergency. During the session, focus solely on your chosen task. When your mind wanders, and it will, especially at first, gently bring it back to the task at hand. Don't judge yourself for losing focus. Just redirect your attention. After the session, reflect on what you accomplished and how it felt to work with such intense focus. I'm willing to bet you'll be amazed at how much you got done compared to a typical 2-hour period of fragmented work. As you begin to implement the focus formula, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience increased focus and concentration during your work sessions. along with noticeable improvements in your skill development and expertise. As you become more adept at deep work, you may find yourself consistently producing high-quality output and tackling complex challenges with ease. Problems that used to take weeks to solve might get cracked in a few deep work sessions. At its best, mastering the focus formula can lead to significant long-term success, allowing you to make meaningful contributions in your field and achieve goals that once seemed completely out of reach. Of course, like any powerful technique, the focus formula can come with challenges. You might struggle to maintain concentration during deep work sessions, especially if you're not used to such intense focus. Your brain is literally addicted to distraction if you've been operating in a fragmented way for years. Breaking that addiction takes time. The solution is to start small, perhaps with 30-minute sessions, and gradually build up your focus muscle. Using time management techniques like the Pomodoro technique can also help by breaking work into focused intervals with short breaks in between. 25 minutes of intense focus, then a 5-minute break. It's manageable and it works. Another common issue is dealing with distractions and interruptions in our hyper-connected world. It can feel almost impossible to create the uninterrupted time needed for deep work when everyone expects immediate responses and your phone is constantly buzzing. The key is to be proactive in setting boundaries and creating a distraction-free environment. This might involve having difficult conversations with colleagues or family members about your need for uninterrupted focus time. But trust me, the results are worth it. When people see the quality of work you produce during your deep work sessions, they'll understand why you need that protected time. As we close this chapter, you've unlocked the power of the focus formula. You've learned how to tap into deep, focused work to achieve extraordinary results. But while the ability to focus deeply is crucial, true mastery of your time requires a broader perspective that connects your daily actions to your long-term vision. In the next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that will help you align your daily actions with your long-term goals. Get ready to discover the weekly compass and learn how to navigate the complexities of modern life with clarity and purpose. Chapter 9. The Weekly Compass. In the vast ocean of time, it's easy to feel adrift, tossed about by the waves of daily demands and unexpected challenges. You're just trying to stay afloat, reacting to whatever comes your way, never quite feeling like you're in control of where you're going. But what if you had a tool that could help you navigate these waters with confidence and purpose? Enter the Weekly Compass, a powerful strategy that can transform how you approach your days and weeks. The Weekly Compass isn't just another planning technique that you'll use for a week and then abandon. It's a way of thinking, a method of aligning your daily actions with your long-term aspirations. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Imagine having a clear view of not just what you need to do today, but how those actions contribute to your bigger goals. Picture yourself moving through your week with real intention, able to adapt to changes without losing sight of what truly matters. This is what the Weekly Compass gives you. But what exactly is this compass, and how does it work its magic? At its core, The weekly compass is about creating a bridge between the immediate and the important. It's about zooming out from the granular details of daily tasks to see the bigger picture, then using that perspective to guide your daily decisions. It's strategic and tactical at the same time. Think about how you typically plan your time. Do you make daily to-do lists, crossing things off as you go? Maybe you have a vague idea of what you want to accomplish this month or this year, but it's not really connected to what you're doing day to day. The weekly compass brings these time frames together, creating a sweet spot that allows for both detailed planning and strategic thinking. Why is this weekly perspective so powerful? For one, it provides a broader view than daily planning, allowing you to see patterns and make connections that might not be apparent in day-to-day task management. You can see how Monday's work sets up Wednesday's meeting, how Friday's deadline relates to next month's goals. At the same time, it's more immediate and actionable than monthly or yearly planning, making it easier to translate big goals into concrete steps. A yearly goal can feel abstract and distant. A weekly goal feels achievable, manageable. Moreover, the weekly time frame offers a perfect balance between structure and flexibility. It's long enough to accommodate significant progress towards your goals, yet short enough to adapt to the inevitable changes and surprises that life throws your way. Because, let's be real, no week ever goes exactly as planned. This flexibility is crucial in our fast-paced world where rigid long-term plans often become obsolete before they can even be implemented. How many times have you spent hours creating a detailed monthly plan only to have it completely upended by week 2? But the weekly compass isn't just about work. Goals. One of its most powerful aspects is its ability to help you balance all areas of your life. By taking a weekly view, you can ensure that you're allocating time not just to professional tasks, but also to personal growth, relationships, health, and leisure. This holistic approach is key to achieving true work-life balance and overall fulfillment. Because what good is crushing it at work if your health is falling apart, your relationships are suffering, and you can't remember the last time you did something just for fun? So, how do we implement this powerful tool? It starts with setting aside dedicated time for weekly planning. This might be Sunday evening when you're winding down from the weekend, or Monday morning when you're fresh and ready to tackle the week. The key is to choose a time when you can reflect on the week ahead without distractions. During this planning session, you'll review your long-term goals, where you want to be in 6 months, a year, 5 years. You'll assess your progress towards these goals honestly. Are you on track? Have you made the progress you hope to make? Then you'll map out your priorities for the coming week. A crucial part of this process is visualization. Whether you use a physical planner or a digital calendar, seeing your week laid out before you can provide invaluable insights. You might notice that you've overcommitted on Tuesday, scheduling 3 important meetings and a deadline all on the same day. Or you might see that you've neglected an important area of your life, like exercise or family time. This visual representation allows you to make adjustments before the week begins, ensuring a more balanced and achievable plan. You can move things around, delegate tasks, or decide that some things just aren't going to happen this week, and that's okay. But planning is just the beginning. The real power of the weekly compass lies in how you use it to navigate your days as the week unfolds. As you move through your week, refer back to your plan regularly. Use it as a guide for daily decision-making, helping you prioritize tasks and allocate your time and energy effectively. When someone asks for your time or attention, you can check your weekly compass and make an informed decision about whether this aligns with your priorities for the week. Of course, no week ever goes exactly as planned. This is where the flexibility of the weekly compass really shines. When unexpected events arise, and they will, you can refer back to your weekly plan to see how to best accommodate these changes without losing sight of your overall goals. It's not about rigidly sticking to a predetermined schedule like some kind of robot. It's about maintaining a clear sense of direction, even as you adapt to new circumstances. The compass doesn't tell you exactly which path to take. It just makes sure you're always heading in the right direction. To put the weekly compass into practice, try this exercise. Set aside an hour this weekend for a weekly planning session. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Grab your favorite beverage. Get comfortable. Start by reviewing your long-term goals. What progress do you want to make towards these goals this week? Be specific. Don't just say, work on my business. What specific tasks or milestones will move your business forward this week? Next, consider all areas of your life: work, relationships, personal growth, health, and leisure. How can you allocate time to each of these areas in the coming week? This is important. Don't just fill your week with work tasks and hope you'll find time for everything else. Intentionally schedule time for the other areas of your life. Finally, map out your week, being sure to include both specific tasks and broader intentions. Schedule the non-negotiables first, the things that absolutely must happen. Then fill in around them with other priorities. Remember to leave some flexibility in your plan to accommodate unexpected events. Don't schedule every minute. Leave buffer time between activities. Give yourself breathing room. As you begin to implement the weekly compass, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience improved alignment between your short-term actions and long-term goals, along with enhanced flexibility in your planning. As you become more adept at this approach, you may find yourself mastering the art of weekly planning, consistently achieving both personal and professional objectives without the stress and overwhelm that used to characterize your weeks. At its best, the weekly compass can lead to a transformative ability to balance all aspects of your life effectively, driving significant long-term success through strategic planning. However, like any powerful tool, the weekly compass can come with challenges. You might struggle to stick to your weekly plan, especially in the face of unexpected disruptions. The key is to set realistic goals and to view your plan as a flexible guide rather than a rigid schedule. Remember, the goal is progress, not perfection. If you only accomplish 70% of what you planned, that's still way better than wandering through the week with no plan at all. Another common issue is overcommitment. In our enthusiasm to make progress, it's easy to overload our weekly schedule, leading to stress and potential burnout. The solution is to be ruthless in prioritizing tasks and to allow for adequate rest and flexibility in your plan. Remember, The weekly compass is about sustainable progress, not short-term exhaustion. You're running a marathon, not a sprint. As we close this chapter, you've discovered the power of the weekly compass. You've learned how to align your daily actions with your long-term goals, creating a roadmap for success that's both strategic and flexible. But while having a clear direction is crucial, true mastery of your time requires more than just planning. It requires motivation. In the next chapter, we'll explore a strategy that will help you tap into your deepest sources of drive and determination. Get ready to uncover pleasure's pathway and learn how to harness the power of motivation to overcome any obstacle in your path to success. Chapter 10, Pleasure's Pathway. We've all experienced those frustrating moments when we know exactly what we should do, yet we find ourselves unable to take action. It's as if an invisible force is holding us back, keeping us from reaching our full potential. We know we should exercise. We know we should work on that important project. We know we should make that difficult phone call. But we don't. We procrastinate. We avoid. We do anything but the thing we know we should do. But what if there was a way to tap into a wellspring of motivation so powerful that it could overcome any obstacle? Welcome to Pleasure's Pathway, a revolutionary approach to harnessing the driving forces of human behavior. Pleasure's Pathway isn't about indulgence or instant gratification. It's not about making everything easy and fun and comfortable all the time. It's about understanding the deep-seated motivators that drive our actions and learning to channel them towards our goals. But what exactly is this pathway, and how can it transform our approach to time management and personal growth? At its core, Pleasure's Pathway is built on a fundamental truth of human psychology. We are driven by the desire to avoid pain and seek pleasure. These twin forces shape our decisions, our habits, and ultimately, our lives. They're operating in the background of every choice we make, whether we're conscious of it or not. But too often, we find ourselves at odds with these natural motivators. We're trying to force ourselves to take actions that feel painful or to avoid things that bring us pleasure. And then we wonder why we struggle with motivation, why willpower alone isn't enough. Imagine if you could align your goals with your deepest sources of motivation. Picture yourself effortlessly drawn towards the actions that will bring you success, as if pulled by an irresistible force. This is the power of Pleasure's Pathway. It's about working with your natural motivations rather than against them. But why is this approach so crucial for maximizing your time? The answer lies in the nature of habit formation and behavioral change. No matter how well we plan our time, no matter how clear our goals, if we can't motivate ourselves to take consistent action, we'll never achieve the results we desire. Pleasure's Pathway provides the missing link between intention and action. Consider a common scenario. You set a goal to wake up early each morning to exercise. You know it's good for you. You've planned it into your schedule. You've bought new workout clothes and set 3 different alarms. But when the alarm goes off in the morning, you find yourself hitting snooze. Why? Because in that moment, the pleasure of extra sleep outweighs the anticipated pleasure of exercise. The pain of getting out of your warm bed is more immediate and visceral than the abstract future benefit of being fit. Pleasure's Pathway teaches us how to shift this balance, how to make the desired action more appealing than the alternative. This isn't about using willpower to force yourself to do things you don't want to do. That approach is exhausting and unsustainable. Instead, it's about reframing your perceptions of pleasure and pain. It's about finding ways to associate pleasure with the actions that lead to your goals, and to associate pain with the habits that hold you back. One powerful technique is to vividly imagine the long-term consequences of your actions. When you're tempted to skip your morning workout, don't just think about the immediate discomfort of getting out of bed. Instead, visualize in detail how you'll feel at the end of the year if you've consistently stuck to your exercise routine. Picture the strength and energy you'll have. Imagine the confidence you'll exude. See yourself fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years. Feel the pride of accomplishment. Make it vivid. Make it real in your mind. By connecting your current actions to your future pleasure, you create a powerful motivational force that can pull you out of bed, even when it's cold and dark and your bed is so comfortable. Similarly, you can use the principle of pain to motivate yourself away from undesirable habits. If you find yourself procrastinating on an important project, don't just focus on the immediate discomfort of getting started. Instead, vividly imagine the stress and disappointment you'll feel if you miss your deadline. Picture your boss's disappointed face. Imagine the embarrassment of having to explain why you didn't deliver. Feel the regret and frustration with yourself. By making the pain of inaction more immediate and visceral, you create a strong incentive to take action now. But pleasure's pathway isn't just about avoiding pain and seeking pleasure in the moment. It's about aligning your actions with your deepest values and long-term goals. This is where the true power of this approach lies. When you can connect your daily actions to your most cherished aspirations, you tap into a wellspring of motivation that can carry you through any challenge. It's the difference between "I have to exercise" and "I get to build the strong, healthy body I want." To implement pleasure's pathway, start by identifying your personal motivators. What truly drives you? What are the outcomes you most desire? What are the consequences you most want to avoid? These might be different for everyone. For some, the desire for recognition and achievement is a powerful motivator. For others, the fear of letting down loved ones provides a stronger drive. There's no right or wrong answer here. The key is honest self-awareness. Once you've identified your motivators, the next step is to consciously link them to your daily actions and habits. This might involve creating a reward system that reinforces positive behaviors, or it might mean regularly visualizing the connection between your current actions and your long-term goals. For example, if you're working on a challenging project, you might set up a series of small rewards for reaching milestones. These rewards should be meaningful to you. Perhaps it's allowing yourself to watch an episode of your favorite show, or treating yourself to a special meal, or buying something you've been wanting. The key is to create a direct link between the desired behavior and a source of pleasure. Your brain will start to associate the work with the reward, making it easier to stay motivated. To put pleasure's pathway into practice, try this exercise. Choose a habit you've been struggling to form. Now spend some time really exploring why this habit is important to you. What pleasure will it bring into your life in the long term? What pain will it help you avoid? Once you have a clear picture, create a vivid visualization that connects the action to these outcomes. Make it detailed. Engage all your senses. Make it emotionally compelling. Practice this visualization daily, especially when you feel your motivation waning. Over time, this practice will rewire your brain's associations, making the habit feel more naturally appealing. As you begin to implement pleasure's pathway, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should experience increased motivation and drive, along with an enhanced ability to overcome resistance and achieve your goals. As you become more adept at leveraging your emotions, you may find yourself mastering the art of behavioral change, consistently achieving your personal and professional objectives with less struggle and more joy. At its best, pleasure's pathway can lead to an ability to harness your emotions for long-term success, driving significant progress towards your most cherished goals in a way that feels natural and sustainable. Of course, like any powerful technique, pleasure's pathway can come with challenges. You might struggle to identify your true motivators, especially if you've become disconnected from your deeper desires. The solution is to engage in deep self-reflection, perhaps journaling about past successes and what drove them, or seeking feedback from those who know you well. Another common issue is creating reward systems that lack impact. If your rewards don't truly resonate with you, they won't provide the motivational boost you're seeking. The key is to tailor your rewards to align with your personal values and goals. Remember, what's rewarding for one person might be meaningless to another. The power lies in finding what truly motivates you, not what's supposed to motivate you. As we close this chapter, you've unlocked the secrets of pleasure's pathway. You've learned how to harness the fundamental drivers of human behavior to propel yourself towards your goals. But while understanding motivation is crucial, true mastery of your time requires a holistic approach that brings together all the strategies we've explored. In the final chapter, we'll weave together these powerful techniques into a cohesive system for time mastery. Get ready to discover how your time, your life, can become a reality, transforming not just how you manage your hours, but how you live your days. Chapter 11. Your Time, Your Life. As we reach the culmination of our journey through the intricacies of time management, it's time to step back and view the bigger picture. The strategies and techniques you've learned aren't just about managing your calendar or increasing your productivity. They're about something far more profound. They're about reclaiming ownership of your life. Think back to where you were when you first opened this book. Perhaps you felt overwhelmed, constantly racing against the clock, never quite able to catch up. Or maybe you were doing okay, but you sensed that there was untapped potential within you, waiting to be unleashed. Wherever you started, you've come a long way. You've acquired a powerful set of tools that can transform not just how you work, but how you live. The Timekeeper Secret taught you the importance of awareness, of truly understanding where your time goes. The Mind's Vault showed you how to organize your thoughts and tasks, freeing up mental energy for what truly matters. The Decision Matrix empowered you to prioritize effectively, focusing on what's truly important rather than just what's urgent. The Morning Conqueror gave you a strategy for starting each day with purpose and momentum. Tiny Giants revealed the power of small, consistent actions. The Rhythm of Success helped you create routines that support your goals. The Focus Formula taught you how to achieve deep, meaningful work. The Weekly Compass gave you a framework for aligning your daily actions with your long-term aspirations. And Pleasure's Pathway showed you how to tap into your deepest motivations to drive lasting change. But these strategies aren't just about personal productivity. They have the power to transform your relationships as well. When you manage your time effectively, you create space for what truly matters. You're able to be fully present with your loved ones rather than constantly distracted by unfinished tasks or looming deadlines. You have the capacity to nurture your relationships, to engage in meaningful conversations, to create shared experiences. In essence, effective time management allows you to invest in the connections that bring richness and meaning to your life. Moreover, as you master these techniques, you'll find yourself unlocking opportunities that were previously out of reach. With increased focus and productivity, you can take on more challenging projects, learn new skills, or pursue long-held dreams. The time you save through effective management can be reinvested in personal growth, creative pursuits, or ambitious goals. You're no longer just keeping up, you're getting ahead. One of the most beautiful aspects of this journey is that it gets easier over time. As you continue to practice these concepts, they'll become second nature. What once required conscious effort will become effortless habit. You'll find yourself naturally prioritizing effectively, focusing deeply, and aligning your actions with your goals. This doesn't mean you'll stop growing or improving. It means you'll be able to tackle even bigger challenges, to reach for even loftier goals, all while expending less energy on the basics of time management. Let's take a moment to recap the key strategies we've covered. The Timekeeper Secret emphasized the importance of awareness in time management. The Mind's Vault taught us how to organize our thoughts and tasks effectively. The Decision Matrix provided a framework for prioritization. The Morning Conqueror showed us how to start our days with purpose. Tiny Giants revealed the power of small, consistent actions. The Rhythm of Success helped us create supportive routines. The Focus Formula taught us how to achieve deep work. The Weekly Compass provided a framework for aligning short-term actions with long-term goals. And Pleasure's Pathway showed us how to tap into our deepest motivations. These strategies work together synergistically, each reinforcing and enhancing the others. But remember, the goal isn't to implement every strategy perfectly from day one. It's about progress, not perfection. Start with the techniques that resonate most strongly with you and gradually incorporate others as you become more comfortable. Now, it's time to create your personalized time mastery plan. This isn't about adopting a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about tailoring these strategies to your unique situation, your personal goals, and your individual challenges. Reflect on what you've learned and how it applies to your life. What are your biggest time management challenges? Which strategies do you think will have the most impact? How can you adapt these techniques to fit your lifestyle and personality? As you create your plan, set goals for continuous improvement. Where do you want to be in a month? In 6 months? In a year? How will you measure your progress? Remember, the journey of time mastery is ongoing. There will always be new challenges to face, new skills to learn, new heights to reach. Embrace this as an exciting opportunity for growth rather than a daunting task. As we conclude our journey together, I want to leave you with a vision of what's possible. Imagine a life where you're in control of your time rather than being controlled by it. Picture yourself moving through your days with purpose and intention, making consistent progress towards your most important goals. See yourself having the time and energy to nurture your relationships, pursue your passions, and make a meaningful impact in the world. This isn't just a fantasy, it's a reality that's within your reach. The strategies you've learned in this book are the keys to unlocking this future. But remember, knowledge alone isn't enough. It's the consistent application of these principles that will transform your life. So what's the next step? It's simple yet profound. Choose one strategy from this book and commit to implementing it today, right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. That moment is here. Take that first step, however small it might seem. Remember the power of tiny giants. Small actions consistently taken lead to monumental results. As you embark on this journey of time mastery, know that you're not just managing your schedule. You're shaping your life. Every minute you reclaim, every task you complete with focus and intention, every goal you achieve through effective planning, these are the building blocks of the life you aspire to live. Your time is your life. By mastering your time, you're mastering your destiny. The power is in your hands. Yet even with perfect time management, you might find yourself facing a new challenge: sustaining the motivation to consistently apply these strategies. What if there was a way to not just manage your time, but to actually crave the hard work that leads to success? The secret lies in understanding how to enter a state of unstoppable productivity and focus. To truly maximize the potential of the time management skills you've learned, I invite you to explore the audiobook Flow: 4 Easy Ways to Crave Unstoppable Hard Work. This book will show you how to transform your approach to work, making every task not just manageable, but genuinely enjoyable. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.